So last year when I was out on the Ridge Creek fire, just saving lives. All right, little friend, off to the tree with you. There you go. I was contacted through the grapevine by Allison of This Prepared Life to see if we'd like to participate in the Women Who Prep conference and give a presentation on communications and our communications plan for our family. And my initial reaction was, yeah, it's 2023 and I'm no biologist, but I'm pretty sure I'm not one of those. She said it was fine. We could still give a presentation. And in addition, we also got to participate and watch the conference, and I thought we'd talk a little bit about some of our observations after watching the Women Who Prep conference of 2024. My initial observation was that this was a very low BS, low ego environment. What do you think?
I thought it was pretty nice. I thought it was a lot of information and pretty enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, there wasn't any
agenda.
There wasn't any one-upping. Didn't see any one-upsmanship that you typically see in male circles when it comes to this topic. That makes it really unenjoyable to participate. Invariably, whenever I try to participate in some sort of preparedness group, usually these things are dominated by men, and I always hear like this. All you need is a pump shotgun. If you can't do the job in 6 rounds, you have no business carrying at all. You can't eat gold. Although this conference was not designed for people like me, prostate havers. Even though this conference was designed for chest feeding people,
Oh my god.
I did find it to be I found it to be enjoyable to observe the
Observe the what?
I found it enjoyable to observe the presentations that were presented by these ladies that had a lot of good information to share. We noticed there was a huge emphasis on customizing your plan for your family's needs.
Yeah, it's very flexible, and there wasn't one straightforward, you have to do this. It was very, hey, adjust to your family, your needs. Here's an option. Look into, see if it fits for you.
What's going on, buddy? And that's a big difference between, I think, male-dominated events such as these and what we observed with this event designed for women. A lot of times with men, you have to do it this way, and I also find that really unenjoyable. So this seemed like a much more constructive format for sharing preparedness information.
Mm-hmm.
We noticed there was a huge focus on the nurturing role of preparedness for your family for hard times, such as food production, food preparation, food preserving.
Comfort,
yeah, absolutely. And that seems to make a lot of sense because this was a conference designed for women. Food production and preparedness is a very nurturing role. I think I recall on Allison's About Me section on her website, she asked her husband what they would be doing if she never got on board with preparedness, and he said that they'd be eating a lot of rice and beans. And that makes perfect sense. I think that'd be the very same that would be for our family if my wife here, this is Kelsey, by the way, I didn't introduce her, if she never got on board with preparing, I think we'd just be eating rice and beans and wheat berries. Would not be very creative or nurturing in any way.
it'd get boring pretty quickly.
And it just illustrates the difference between men and women in our areas of focus, and that's good and complimentary. Also, probably explains why I didn't get a single view to this channel from that conference, but that's just fine.
Wow. Harboring any
No, not at all.
resentment there?
No, not one bit. I very much enjoyed participating and sharing what information I had. It makes perfect sense. Not a lot of ladies are really interested in the communication space. That's really more of the male domain. Not that women can't do that. I'm not suggesting that by any means. It's just not their area of interest. Women seem to be drawn to those nurturing focus areas like food storage, food preservation, canning.
Gardening.
We noticed that there was a range of information for a variety of skill and complexity levels. It seemed, though, to be weighted more towards the beginner prepper.
Yeah, beginner or just getting ready and trying to decide where to go.
I don't think that's wrong by any means. And even though I don't perceive that we're absolute beginners, we still picked up a lot of information. We still picked up a lot of good information from this conference. I didn't feel like it was a waste of our time by any means. I felt it was absolutely a net positive to us.
Yeah, and it was also nice that it was online so we could watch it later at home as a family too. So we had our children asking questions, and they're not as far along in the prepping understanding as we are. So it was kind of nice to have them understand the thinking of why we do certain things. So I thought it was good for them too.
It was time well spent. Kelsey, what was your favorite presentation?
It was the off-grid panel. I just liked that they kind of brainstormed ideas of what would happen during potential emergencies, and it was kind of nice seeing different varieties and kind of what people would do. You have people who live out in the country, people live in the city, and they're going to be handling that different. So it was just kind of nice to see different examples of things that we hadn't thought about either. What was your favorite?
Our presentation, of course.
I knew you were going to do that.
I really liked the lactofermentation canning presentation. I enjoyed the fact that it was an actual tutorial, so I was able to learn a real skill from that. It looked really interesting, and it looked like we already have a lot of the stuff that we need to get going with that. So I downloaded the... Go for it, buddy. We downloaded the presentation materials, and I actually really want to give that a try. Would this be something you would want to attend next year, if there is one next year?
Yeah, I think so. I think it, like I said, it has a lot of information that we can apply to our own lives. It's very convenient being online. We were able to catch the first day live, but the next 3 days we weren't able to. So we were able to watch it later, and you have access to the video and the content for, I don't know, a couple months, right?
I believe till July.
Yeah.
September, July.
So it's really flexible to watch. So yeah, I would do it again.
Yeah, and even though this conference was designed for birthing persons, not people of my disability, I really did enjoy this conference. I would want to attend and watch all the presentations again.